Hey, this is Sean with Rock All Photography Music Magazine, and today I'm sitting down with Sin Quirin from the band Three Headed Snake. How you doing, Sin? Happy Halloween.
I'm good. Happy Halloween to you, and congratulations on getting my last name correct.
Oh, good. I studied hard for that one.
Everyone butchers my last name. The actual, I'll tell you, the actual correct pronunciation, which no one ever gets, is Quirin.
Quirin. Okay.
Quirin,
All right.
which is it's a Spanish last name, but everyone in the States has been calling, saying it's Quirin, which is fine. I guess there's a beer called Quirin or something like that.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, some kind of like Japanese beer or something. But yeah, good job on that.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking some time to talk to us too. I'm a big fan of ministry to start with.
Awesome.
You can't talk to you without talking about ministry. And
Of course.
I actually met you in Cincinnati. I was photographing the ministry show, and I had done a photo shoot with Cesar before.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it was a really cool experience. I got to sit in while you guys did your sound checks and stuff. So that was really
awesome,
neat.
man.
Caesar's
Where were we playing? In
at
what
Bogart's.
venue?
Bogart's.
On this last run?
Yeah. So
It
I'm
was just like April or May or something like that.
Yeah. I think it was May, and you were just sitting up by the merch booth, and I came up and said hi. So.
Oh, cool. Right on, man. Awesome.
Well, I've been a fan of ministry for a long time, and all the way through high school. I'm in my 40s, so I followed ministry from the days of almost like dance electronic all the way to what it has transpired to be now.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background with music and how you kind of got into the music scene and ministry?
Sure. I'm kind of in the same boat you are. I was in the ministry in high school, and during their early stages, of more electronic, even dance, beginnings.
Right.
So I was always a fan, and the more, the heavier they got, I kind of grew along with that. So ministry was definitely a band that I used to listen to, in school. And when I was jamming with my early bands, it was definitely something that I always sort of tried to bring to the table. I also tried to fuse kind of like keyboards and electronics in some of my earlier projects out here in LA. But I started playing the guitar when I was 10. The first time I realized that I wanted to play the guitar was when I was 6, and that was the first time I heard Kiss Alive, and that's pretty much what changed my entire world. And started playing at 10, and took some basic lessons, and then took some more sort of specialized rock lessons when I was about 13, and then that was it. Been doing it since I was about 18, 19. I started playing out in, all the LA Hollywood clubs like the Troubadour and the Coconut Teaser and the Whiskey and Roxy and Gazzari's and all that stuff. I can't believe I've been doing it this long, to be honest with you.
That's awesome, though. You're doing an art and you're earning a living, so it's got to be pretty cool. And you're in a band that you listened to and enjoyed in high school. That's got to be a pinch me as this real moment.
It's very surreal. It's still surreal at times for me. I was a huge ministry fan, and so when I went through all my other bands before I ended up in ministry, it's just it's a trip to think about sometimes, and sometimes it hits me when I'm on stage or in the studio with Al or something. It just kind of like I'll start to kind of sort of get into my own headspace and go, shit, I'm actually in the band. It's been 12 years now for me, and still sometimes it's still a trip because
awesome.
I'm still a fan, so it's kind of crazy to think that I'm helping create the music and having been with them for 12 years now. I actually came into the Revolting Cocks.
Oh, wow.
And in 2006, I was my old band was called Society One, and from that band, I joined the Revolting Cocks in 2006, just as a touring guitar player, and that was for the 2006 Master Bay tour, and it was Revolting Cocks opening for Ministry, so that was kind of my introduction into this whole camp, and in that same year, after that tour, Ministry went on to Europe, and I stayed back, and that's when Al asked if I was interested in helping him write the next Ministry record, which turned into The Last Sucker.
Man,
and,
that's gotta be so
when
cool.
I got back from Europe, he flew me to El Paso, Texas, in late 2006, and that was 12 years ago.
And it's still kicking ass, man.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
That last
I'm
album.
glad somebody likes it.
Oh man, I love it. I always say like Ministry was kind of my gateway drug from like I DJ'd, and I still even have like every Ministry 12-inch vinyl out there, which is so cool.
On.
But it was like my gateway drug into harder music and into more of the metal scene, it was funny that you said kind of the same thing.
Yeah, big time.
So, what other genres of music were you into back in the day besides Ministry?
I grew up in my house. My parents always had music playing, and my dad was a singer in a band in Mexico in the 60s, and so I would always listen, even as far back as I can remember, hearing old like the Animals and the Kinks and the Stones and the Beatles and stuff like that. Where like that was the first kind of music that I remember hearing, and I still have all that, all those vinyls from my parents. So that was kind of the style I grew up listening to, and I also heard traditional, Spanish, Mexican music as well. But I was heavily into 70s disco and funk as a kid.
That's cool.
And I still am. That's probably the style and the genre that I listen to the most.
Oh, that's cool.
In my spare time. The rock and metal or whatever is probably the stuff I listen to the least, to be honest with you. Because I've always loved electronic stuff and dance music, and I remember in my late teens and early 20s just getting into all the Euro trance stuff, and I used to hang out at some clubs here in LA, and I make friends with the DJs that always give me all their copies of the import trance stuff that they were listening to, and and that was crazy, man. I mean, because it was of course I was into rock and metal, but I was also into the this complete other side of it. So I've always been fairly into music as a whole, in general. There are very few styles that I'm not a big fan of, but for the most part, I mean, I always find something that's appealing in music.
Yeah, the 90s were so interesting with the Euro and like acid house music.
Yes,
and,
very much so.
And it's so fun now. I do photography and I interview bands, and I got to cover the Lords of Acid, which were a huge influence, for my musical taste back then.
Same here. And then I played with them.
Yeah, and then the Thrill Kill Call, I a week after you guys were in Cincinnati, they were in Cincinnati, and got to meet them and did a photo shoot with them, and it's just so cool that they're still around and people still appreciate that music.
No, big time. I remember, do you remember that Thrill Kill Call Lords tour in the 90s?
Yes.
I was at that tour here in LA. They played at the Hollywood Palladium because I was a big Lords of Acid fan.
Yeah.
And so I saw them on that tour. So it was a trip in 2010, when I got a call from Maurice from Praga. And and he was like, hey man, I'd like you to play guitar, doing a tour of the States, and I'd like you to be the guitar player, and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, shit, this is amazing. And so I got to play guitar for Lords of Acid on that 2010 tour with the Thrill Kill Cult opening for us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was the same tour that I saw back in the day, only now I was a guitar player in Lawrence.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah, so that was another one of those surreal moments, and I had a blast with those guys. I mean, Maurice is such a cool dude. And we've been talking, again, I mean, we've been in contact, for the past 8 years, ever since I hooked up with them. And we want to work together again. It's just been a scheduling thing. Hopefully I think they're doing another tour in early 2019 of the States, and if my schedule permits, I'll be, hopefully on that thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you're a busy man. We can switch gears a little bit, and you're part of a new band, Three-Headed Snake, right?
Yes.
And you guys just released a new EP, which I took a listen to, and I really liked. It brings back memories of some older metal with a new contemporary sound, which is cool. Can you tell us about who's in the band and how that got started as a project?
Sure. I actually started that project a little over 2 years ago, and I had hooked up with my first real singer from when I was about 18 years old, and he and I had lost contact, for close to 30 years, and we reconnected a few years ago, and we talked about writing some music together and just recording it for fun, just for ourselves. And so I began to write a couple songs. He ended up falling ill and not able to sing anymore. So I had, some music written, and so I said to myself, wow, I'm gonna look for a singer just to record these. And I looked on the internet, looked online, and I found this guy Johnny Ray in Florida. And I reached out to him, and I told him who I was, who I play with, and I said, listen, I have a couple of songs, and I'd like to just record them just for myself. Would you be interested? And so I sent him off a couple songs, and he sent them back a few days later and just blew me away. And it was exactly the style I was looking for. This was very specific. I wanted to go back to that old school, priest, maiden,
right,
Dio kind of vibe, because it was something that I was very into back then, and I just kind of wanted to go back to that. And I didn't want to do another industrial thing or another anything. I'm already in one of the biggest, if not the biggest, industrial metal bands around. So right. I didn't want to duplicate that, which there's nothing wrong with doing something like that. But this project was geared specifically for that classic old school metal, and so that's how Johnny became involved, the singer Johnny Ray, and that was over 2 years ago. And the reason it took so long is just because of my work schedule with ministry, and I could only get to Three-Headed Snake when I was in between ministry stuff, and we've been fairly busy the past few years.
Yeah.
We wrote a record, and we've done a lot of touring, and so when the time came to record the EP, I wasn't even going to record an EP. I honestly was going to just demo the songs, and that was it. Like, they weren't going to go anywhere. But in the process, in these 2 years, I would post these little sound clips on my social media, and people started responding very positively to them and asking where they could get it. So I said to myself, all right, well, we'll record an EP and just, no expectations or anything, just put it out, just, see if people dig it. And that's how the idea for the EP came about. And early this year, we went into the studio with Michael Rosen, who produced the last ministry record.
Oh, okay.
And he produced this Three-Headed Snake EP. And that was it. And then, I said, well, if we're going to do an EP, let's do a video. And so I hired Matt Zane to direct it. And he's also my old singer from Society One.
Oh, okay.
And he's an amazing director. He's worked with John Five, Zach Wilde, Wayne Static, and he's done amazing videos for them. So he did a killer job, and that was it. As far as the other guys in the band, I've got Cesar Soto on the other guitar,
right,
from Ministry.
Yep.
I've got Derek Abrams on drums, also from Ministry. And then I've got D.V. Karloff from Society One, who's my old bass player from Society One, on bass. And, just great guys. It's a great lineup. I've played with all of these guys. And they're not only great musicians, they're great people. So, you know, they
Right.
were handpicked specifically because I knew there would be no ego and no drama with this group of guys. And
Right.
it would just be fun. Just, you know, creating music and playing just for fun, just like in the old days when you're just starting out in your garage doing it just for the love of music.
That's fun, though. That's got to be like a nice break in a way.
It is.
Like a
It is,
relaxing
man. It's
thing.
cool to not have to deal with a bunch of politics and
Right.
bullshit like involved in the music business and all that crap. And it's just like we're just kind of riding this wave for as long as we want to and as long as people want us to. And the goal is for us to do a full-length album in 2019, which we have an album's worth of material already, and Cesar's writing more and more for this project as well. And we've already been approached by like some European agents for hopefully to take us to Europe to do some shows in the summer of 2019.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man.
Yeah.
I hope that comes through for you.
Yeah, me too.
Like you mentioned the video, I thought the video was amazing. You know, it captures you talked about the sound that you were looking for, and I think, the genre that you talked about nailed it.
Yep.
You know, you got exactly what you were looking for out of that.
Yeah, and I think,
really cool.
with the video, I think we nailed it as well. I think
Right.
Matt did an amazing job. You know, when we talked about the concept for the video, I said, well, I want it to be just mainly a performance video, but then I started thinking, well, let's encompass a few things from that era, and I brought in some people to do some headbanging in there with us,
Right.
and then I said, well, shit, let's add some fire.
Right.
And, I knew some fire performers, and they came in and did an amazing job, and I think it's like in a nutshell, it kind of shows. It's kind of a throwback to, all the music videos that, I used to watch back on Headbangers Ball.
Right.
On MTV. So, yeah, I think Matt did an amazing job.
Well, knowing that, you guys from Ministry are in the band, number one, that piqued my interest. And then seeing this kick-ass, like, cover art thing,
Yeah.
Like, if I was in an old record store, I'd just buy it because it looked cool and want to hear what it
Right.
sounded like,
No,
So,
big
like,
time, man. It's cool that you say that, because that is something that was definitely on my mind when I was describing the concept to Sam Sharon, is the guy that did the artwork for us, and that was what I had visually in my head.
Right.
And that was the idea behind it, man. It was the idea of, remembering when I used to go into record stores, and sometimes I would buy albums just because of the album cover.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of the artwork.
Oh, yeah.
And it would pique my interest. So, yeah, I'm glad that, you weren't the first one to say that, but I'm glad to hear that that's what people are getting from that as well.
Absolutely, man. So, I was like, oh, I want to check this out. And then, I found out, I work with your publicist a lot with his other stuff. So I was really excited to see that you were working with him. And, I got to talk to these guys. So very
Right
cool. We're going to post up the links to, your Bandcamp and your Facebook and your video and all that good stuff on our site. And that'll go out on our socials. Is there anything you'd like to add? You want people to know about the band or you, or go out and buy it?
Honestly, I just want to thank everyone for this for the support that we've been seeing and we've been getting. I honestly am blown away by it. I wasn't expecting it. I'm pleasantly surprised that people are taking to it as well as they are. So I'm always, very humbled by that, and very thankful that people are giving it a listen. But again, check us out. We've got our digital downloads available on our Bandcamp page, Spotify, iTunes, and expect a full-length album next year, and hopefully some touring next year. So that's the goal that we have for Three-Headed Snake.
Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, and I hope to see you guys out on the road again.